Hey,
What's up, Jack?
oh, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing? What's up,
I miss
everybody?
I miss you, man. How you been?
This is true, man. I'm good, man. I mean, at home. Like, just being at
Yeah.
home, and that's it. Walk around, eating.
Yeah. Oh
That's
man,
what I've been doing.
is that what you've been doing? Walking around and eating?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I've been training too, like
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
every day.
It's
How
tough,
about
right?
you?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Talking to you and doing these chats are what's keeping me sane right now. Like all I'm doing is like pretty much like working out at home and staying at home and
CrossFit, man.
doing.
I saw the
Yeah,
machines.
man. I'm gonna go be a CrossFit athlete now. That's what I'm gonna do.
I
I
felt the
think my
same.
jujitsu I think my jujitsu's gone now.
There's like open a CrossFit.
No more
Yeah,
Barambolos, all just CrossFit stuff. Yeah,
CrossFit.
dude. So what have your days been like so far? What have you been up to
so
besides,
man, so man, what I've been like. Actually, like I've been staying at home. I've been doing some cardio.
Yeah,
I've been training a little bit. Uh, like there's not much we can do because like there's no gym. The academy's
yeah,
closed. So pretty much like just doing like a few exercises like walking, ride a bike.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's it.
is do you have like a gym in your apartment building or something?
Well,
Or
I have a gym here, but it just have a few stuffs, but not like it's not complete.
yeah, yeah. It's not
There's no
much.
weights. There's no how to say. I forgot the machine. I was called to run. The machine to run. I forgot the name.
The treadmill.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
yeah,
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
yeah. It's
So
pretty much.
yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like, I got a kick out of how you still say you haven't been able to train much, you haven't been doing much, but you still took a fight against Cyborg.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
what happened? Like I fought. I fought. I was training a little bit. So I trained with a few guys, but like with the blue belt guys. So I've been training with them. That's it. I didn't been doing a lot of training. I trained like 4 or 5 times with them.
Yeah,
That's it. And I sent message. He messaged me. I was like, "When I fight with Cyborg," I said, "Okay, let's do it."
yeah.
Yeah, man, just let's do it. I know, like I'm gonna gas
how,
out,
how did you
but
how did
okay.
how did you feel in that match?
Man,
I mean, I saw it. Yeah, tell me about it.
I got like the first minutes, like the first 6 minutes, I felt good, but after he's really heavy and strong, so I felt
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah,
man, I gas out a little bit,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
Is there anything you feel like you would change? Not, I mean, it's not like really anything happened. It's not like he was really able to do much, but I guess he was able to push the pace a little bit more. I guess I'm not sure,
Yeah, he
but
played on top, so he was
yeah.
moving all the time. I was playing the bottom, like.
Would
That's
you
my heart.
maybe next time you wouldn't be like so quick to pull? Would you want to stand with him more? What do you think you would have done differently?
So I was trying the guys. I was trying to wrestle. My wrestling wasn't good at all. I was like, my base was bad. No, like I was switching the base all the time. With
Yeah.
no coordination. I was
Mhm.
like, man, you know what? I'm not gonna do wrestle with Cyborg. I'm just gonna pull in guard, and
Yeah.
God knows.
Yeah. Dude, you have like such a good game for like you're a big dude and you have like a really flexible guard and I was always when you first came to Marcelo's I was like so surprised by that. Of course I expected you to be like heavy and good pressure passing on top, but your guard was like so dynamic. Like who did you kind of like pick up your game from and kind of like were you always like that or was that something you kind of had to develop?
So like when I started, like I started to do a lot of half guard and get under the guys. Kind of
Yeah.
ball, like I do
Yeah.
a little scramble.
Yeah.
So I always I play guard a little bit, and like also I swap the guy because I always train with like adult. I was a juvenile. I was train with adult guys,
Mhm.
purple and that. So I play. I always play like that. So I every time I swap, I just play on top. So like I went adapt a little bit. You know what happened? Like once I saw Cyborg doing the tornado sweep,
Yeah.
the tornado sweep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I started like try that thing, and I fought with Gustavo Batista Braguinha,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So he put me in the last one. I gotta like really like confused what to do, you
Yeah.
know. I won the match, but I got really confused. If I not I won the match, I don't know how, but I did,
Yeah.
and I got a little confused. Like, man, let me start like play lasso, all that, because I used to do like just half, half guard a lot, like Bernard, just half guard,
Yeah.
like an
When
H2.
did you When did
in
you
pro.
start playing your like lasso? What belt were you at?
Was like I was purple. No,
Okay.
yeah, I was purple. Purple belt. I started playing lasso. Yeah, begin
Yeah.
like end of the blue, the beginning of the purple. I started playing lasso, and I
And
went.
you're mostly
Huh?
nice. And you were mostly inspired by that, inspired to do that by, fighting Batista and
But
feeling
yeah,
that?
with
Huh.
him and since Cyborg do the tornado,
Okay.
you should do tornado guard. So I started to do like the tornado, and it really works
Yeah.
for me because I think like because my legs like it's really heavy, so it
Yeah.
helps a lot.
Hell yeah. I know how
Hell
heavy
yeah.
your legs are. They're like tree trunks, man. You can't move them. I know. I remember I watched you one of the first times I think I saw you compete out in Brazil at Brasileiros,
Yeah.
and I love the when you won at brown belt, I believe. I was out there,
Mhm.
and you were getting the lasso, but you were kind of like sitting up, and the guy was like almost like hugging your legs or something. And I'm like, man, it doesn't look like a good spot. It looks like a bad spot for you because the guy is kind of like, I don't know, it just doesn't look like a great spot, but you're always able to just elevate them super easy.
So yeah, I was like, I tried. What happened? Like, I never played comfortable, like with lasso. So I learned to play in uncomfortable position.
Hmm.
So I surprised the guy like he's like almost passing. I got a sweep. So I was like, man, like let me see, like let me try, because once I learned that thing, like you get under the legs with my leg, you know, and I was like, let me keep this control, and I want to feel uncomfortable because I need to play uncomfortable. So I started playing uncomfortable my last, and kind of I learned like this, like I play with my leg literally bad, and then I go.
Oh, so that's a kind of like a setup almost. You kind of make them feel comfortable from there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I feel comfortable. Like now, I feel in the beginning, no, the beginning I suffer a lot, but now I feel really comfortable
You put yourself in that spot a lot, so then
in that
after a
spot a
while,
lot. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. And how about you? What you been doing? Like, what you been doing for training? Like, what are you expecting for like the next months?
Oh man, I don't know. It's funny. Like during this time, I really like. People would tell me, "Oh, it's probably not going to be till June, till July we train again or train normal again." And I was like, "No way, no way, it's going to be like that." And
Yeah,
now it's it's like that now. It's crazy.
yeah, it's take too long.
And I've been like really cautious. I really haven't trained that much. I trained with my roommate a couple times, and that's been it. We have mats in our
Uh,
apartment, but he works too, and we don't get along when we train. So it's kind of it's kind of hard to have like good training sessions. So like for me,
yeah.
I really like you said, I'm a CrossFit athlete now. That's what I've been doing. You know, I mean, at least I feel like I'll be in like good shape when I come back. I'm working out like twice a day every day, but it's tough. I
and
miss.
about and about competition, did you like look for some competition?
So I wanted to ask you about this as well because like I was talking with Fight to Win, and I remember like they're doing one in Philly, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. That'd be good. Um, and Seth got back to me, and he was like, oh, what do you want to do? Gi, no gi, what weight? And just hearing that, I'm like, man, I haven't trained at all. I can't even think about doing gi or no gi or what weight I'd be doing because I've been disconnected for so long.
Yeah,
And that's what I wanted to ask you because you're someone that just I feel like you're way more not to sound like this not disrespect, more like you seem way more carefree than I do. You kind of just go in there, you're kind of like, fuck it, I don't care, I'm gonna compete. For me, I always feel like I need to have like a certain like routine before, but
yeah.
you're like you'll train a little bit and then you're just like happy to go compete. You did that at ADCC pretty much and made the finals. Has that always kind of been like that for you? Have you always just been kind of like, I just want to go fight?
Yeah, actually, I've always been like this because I've been
Yeah.
actually always a compete a lot. So I think it helps like get confidence with myself and just go.
Yeah.
Like there's times that I fought like I had a surgery once, a small surgery, and I didn't even train for 1 month, and I competed. After I recovered, I trained 1 week and I competed. So I
Yeah.
think like, and I won. Like it's just like, I think it's more like the mind. Like I don't still think that I need to train all the time because I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time.
Hmm.
Sure, in high like in how to say, in high performance,
Hmm.
like us, you need to be trained. We need to train every day. You need to be good with yourself and everything. Feel good.
Yeah.
But if you feel like that all the time, like if you just like think, oh, I just gotta be good with myself, I think you put too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so I think like you just gotta be more flow. You know, it
Yeah.
helps a lot. So you create confidence with yourself. So I think like you just gotta go. You know, maybe
Yeah.
you can go the first time, the second you're gonna lose, but the third time like, oh, I didn't been trained too much, but I'm gonna do, like you get confidence.
Hmm. I
You
feel that
know,
with you. You just seem very comfortable with your routine, with your game, with your style, and you're just always ready to compete. So would you? So you're kind of saying like, we train so much that like it's not going to matter what you do the couple days or weeks before a competition. It's what you're doing over the years that
over
really
the
makes a difference.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, like let's say the consistency, like you can train like 4 months straight and then you stop. That's not a constance. Like you can keep the constance. You can train like crazy for 3 months and then you stop. Like you're gonna get tired. Your mind get tired. You know, I
Yeah.
think when it's too much, it's the same thing as work. Like working, you work. Like your mind get tired. Not gonna be the same. You
Yeah.
know. So I think like just keep the constants, but since your mind is health as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think when you
So
put too
go
much
ahead. Go ahead.
pressure, you know, like it's gonna make you feel like, oh, I need to win because I train a lot. No, not that. Like you're gonna win because like you keep the constants doing all those years.
Yeah. So you think in that case you would, for me, this was kind of a struggle. Like last year, I was like more exclusive with the tournaments I did. Like I did just Worlds, just ADCC, just a couple things. And for some people that works well. You look at like guys like Bushesha and Hadra and all these guys. They'll do like 2 tournaments a year. Lepery will do 1 tournament a year. They win. But for some people, like being exclusive is kind of hard. For me, I like would focus too much on the tournament.
On the
Whereas I
tournament.
noticed like some of my better results were when I was competing more often. I was competing almost
Yeah,
every other week. So then I was just kind of going in and fighting and not like training for any like particular tournament. Is that kind of like how you think?
yeah. You had a say like you had a better results like when you
Yeah.
were keep this constants of competing.
Because then in that case you're not really training to get ready for a competition. You're just training and staying consistent rather than
Consistent.
like
Yeah,
rather than trying to ramp it up for a tournament.
yeah. I think it's the same with the competition. Like you gotta keep consistent competing. So like I did keep consistent competing, but I really felt comfortable last competition because I did compete like has 4 months, 5 months. I did compete.
Yeah.
I fought with kinda, but like it's not. It's just a super fight. It's just a super fight. It's not a
It doesn't feel
tournament.
like a turn. It's not a tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a tournament. So you feel like I felt a little bit like tense. I
Mm.
say
Yeah.
tense. Like excited. Not excited, but
Yeah. You had a lot of adrenaline.
yeah,
Yeah,
adrenaline.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt like this. So because I didn't keep the constant, so I think like you gotta do like if you're an athlete, you gotta compete like at least once a month, at least.
Yeah. How was it out in Brazil for you? I mean, I remember you telling me a little bit about like your competition schedule. How often were you competing when you were like blue, purple belt?
Man, actually, I competed like every weekend, sometimes twice a weekend.
Damn. How do you maintain that? That's crazy. I mean,
I like I gotta tell you, I used to train like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and rest on Friday and compete Saturday and Sunday.
wow. Yeah.
So kind of like I competed more than I train if you compare like
Yeah. 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 The amount of time. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, matter of time, like you know.
Was that just kind of like how it was then, or was that something that you wanted to do? Is it? I mean,
That's how it was like because I like when you're like lower belts, you want to fight all the time. You're very excited to fight. The black belt change a little bit. You gotta put more pressure, but the
mhm.
lower belts like everybody like get excited to fight. Even blue belts, blue and purple, all the time they want to fight a tournament.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So I say like, man, I just do that. Like I'm gonna fight tournament all around the Brazil.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like I'm not gonna stop and I just go.
Yeah. How were those tournaments out there? Were they like good quality tournaments, or were they really badly run?
Really bad, man. Really bad.
Were
They
they like
started like to make money, you know. Like
they were
I
like
was
Naga
like,
tournaments? Sorry, Naga
I
fans
kind of
out there.
yeah, like kind of like a Naga tournaments.
Yeah.
Sometimes worse. No, much worse. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, yeah. Like it's just like three mats, you know,
But
and
they would have a
we'll
lot of
have
people. You'd probably be there like all day for those tournaments, right?
all day, all day. They say like we're gonna fight at 1 p.m. No, not it's not 1 p.m. We're gonna fight
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 p.m. is when it
Yeah.
started.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
like disorganized. Like it's not good, but you have fun. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Where those tournaments were probably almost kind of like almost like gatherings, kind of like you hang out with your friends at these tournaments
Yeah, it's kind of like
because
this.
everyone goes to all the tournaments, right?
Yeah, no, no. Like actually go and hang out with your friends and fight. Like sometimes you close out with the guys, go eat together. It's all like this. Close
Yeah,
out with
yeah,
the open class and go eat everybody together. It's kind of like this. Everybody like the lower belts was like that. I don't know here. How was here? Did you fight a lot of this
It
kind of
would
lower tournaments?
probably not as much as that. I would always find tournaments. My parents would like take me to all the tournaments. They could find like Naga tournaments in like all different states. They would drive. But there's never like, I don't know. I compete. I think the most matches I ever had in a year was like maybe 2 years where I had like 60, 70 something matches. But how many, did you ever keep track of like what was the most amount of matches you had in like a year? I can imagine it's a huge number.
You mean like how many mats I had or
Yeah.
tournaments?
How many
Tournaments.
matches or tournaments, either way.
That's man. I think like probably like I'm turning off.
Which if you're doing every weekend, I can
Yeah,
imagine it's like
I
blows my
think
number out of the wire.
let's see. I competed like actually the lower belts, 35 tournaments a year,
Yeah.
and sometimes
Well,
I used to fight like 10. I used to have 10 fights in 1 week, 1 weekend.
oh, so a lot of these tournaments weren't just like one or two matches. It would be a lot of matches for these. You have a lot of matches in the tournament.
Yeah, like 6, 7. Because I used to fight like juvenile
Yeah.
class and open class, and adult class and open class. So four.
Okay. So four
So
divisions.
yeah, like 2 fights. The juvenile actually like 2, 3 fights.
Yeah.
Class and open class like 5, and then more 5, 6 in the adult. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I had like 300 mats each year probably.
What?
Yeah, like
Okay.
I
That's a
think
lot.
300, 200 something, 300.
So I can imagine that, like, even going back to what we were saying before, having that amount of experience, it almost develops that comfortable feeling that you have going to compete. Or
Yeah,
you don't stress about how much you feel before you compete. For me, another thing that I want to ask you about is that how much of an emphasis do you put on how you're feeling in training when you go compete? Is it like is it much of a necessity to feel like sharp in training before you go compete, or is it something where like you don't you separate the two? Competing and training is two very different things.
like let's say when I train on Monday, I feel really good, but on Thursday it's not the same.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So actually, I don't compare because
Hmm.
I'm gonna be rest. So like always on Monday I train really good. So I don't compare actually. I rest. I feel really good. Like
Yeah,
I don't need to be sharp on training because it's as a constant you get really tired. You
yeah.
know. So yeah, I don't compare. Like I feel good. I don't need to be
Nice.
sharp, sharp.
Have you had like I'm sure you've had like tournaments as well where like maybe you're training super good, you're feeling really sharp, and you go compete and you like all of a sudden don't compete super well, and then maybe it's the total opposite where like you train like crap, and then you all of a sudden you go in and you compete and you
You
just
go
you,
and
you
compete
do really
good.
well. So it doesn't matter so much.
Yeah, it doesn't matter so much. Like, man, there's times that I fought. Oh my god, I was training good, but I got there, I forgot about everything. I was like, oh my god, what am I doing here? I felt like a white belt, just doing strength. Like, thank God, giving me a little bit of his strength. So I was just like doing strength all the time. That saved me a little bit, but a few times I lost because, like, man, I competed so bad, you know.
Yeah.
So like I like as I got used to compete, so I just don't care. Like, sometimes I'm gonna compete. Fuck, you're right.
Sometimes you don't. Some you say you don't want to compete, but you just go anyway, or you
Sometimes
just
I don't want to compete, and I just go, and I
yeah,
compete good. Sometimes I really want to, I go compete, and I compete bad.
yeah. So it's
You know?
not you would say it's not always about how you feel before, like even if you're at the tournament, but it's about how you feel when you're like on the mat. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of people are always so concerned about how they feel like before, like, oh man, I'm nervous, or oh, I don't really want to be here. You know, but it's all about just, you know, the effort that you put on the mat, that makes the difference. You could have like the worst training before. I was even
Yeah.
talking to Lovato the other day, and I asked him a little bit about he won like the Bellator title a couple of months ago, or I think it was last year, and he had like the worst training camp. He had like a you know, he had a brain condition. He tore his hamstring during the camp. You know, it was like
Yeah.
the worst camp ever, but he was able to, and I'll address that as well. I want to ask about ADCC, but he was just able to like put it together and still have a great fight and was able to win. So it's not always about the preparation. You could feel like crap, but if you perform well in the match, in the tournament, that's all that really matters.
That's all really matters. I think like confidence actually. Like I think when you are trained too much, sometimes like you are doing really good in our camp and get the end, like we're really tired and start like train with the other guys and they start like smash you all that. So
Yeah,
like it's a lot of like the mind, like
yeah,
I think if you're good with you, if you like you just gotta think positive and I'm gonna compete. Oh, I'm gonna win. I want to win. You need to be really hungry for that. It
yeah,
helps a lot.
yeah.
Not just
Where do you?
motivate, not motivate like all the time. I'm not gonna be motivated all the time too. I think
Mhm.
like, oh, I'm not gonna be. I don't know. I'm not motivated all the time, but sometimes it's my job. I gotta go and do it. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's just
do
something you
great.
know. Competing is what you know, so it's just natural, even if you don't want
Yeah,
to do it every time. Yeah,
yeah.
I understand. Yeah, where does
Sometimes
that?
again, you
Where
can
do you?
say,
Huh? Oh,
you
I
can
just
say,
wanted to ask, like, where do you think your confidence comes from? What kind of what do you kind of tell yourself before you compete? Is there anything that you kind of have going through your mind, or you know, is it all over the place? What kind of goes on in your mind before you compete to kind of give you that confidence when you're out there on the mat?
man. Before like I step in the mat, like I I feel like a tense a little bit.
Hmm.
Sometimes I sleep because I don't
Yeah,
feel like I don't feel tense. Like the Brazilian national, I don't Brazilian national. I slept, and they will call me all the time. Oh, Vinicius, I was sleeping in the
yeah.
area.
So
Yeah.
you were super
So
calm then.
yeah, because like if I get too tense, like I like too like I have a lot of adrenaline sometimes. I just sleep and it helps a lot. So when I go to the match, I don't think too much. Like you know, I just
Yeah.
go and. What's the question? Like say again. Say again. I don't know if I
Oh,
answered that.
I just wanted to know, like, kind of what's your mindset before you're competing? You know,
Uh,
yeah, it's just kind of like, is there any like affirmations or something you tell yourself before you compete, or is there, you know, do you like to have like a set routine or anything like that, or you just kind of like to just go? You know, what do you
yeah,
think
no,
it comes to?
actually, I just go. I just go. I think, man, they just need to win. I think like this,
Yeah.
just need to win. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try. I just think like that.
So you
I
try
need
to
to win.
mostly, do you think it's best for you to, and this is actually something that I've learned a lot. Sometimes like keeping it simple makes things a lot easier. You know, it's like leads to less stress. If people are overthinking too much, you know, before they compete, then
Yeah,
it's easier to make mistakes.
yeah. I think the overthink like takes a lot of energy from you.
Yeah.
So I think like like there's a lot of guys that feel like what is he gonna do? Oh my god, he does that. He does it. Like I just you just like gotta go and sure sometimes you gotta prevent few things, but you
Hmm.
cannot overthink about one thing like all the time because that's gonna
Yeah.
make you sick and the head and you're gonna go like scared already, you know.
Yeah. Do you like to? So in that case, I think I already know the answer. But do you watch much of your opponents before, or you know, do you strategize at all, or what's kind of
No,
the
actually I don't study my weapons before. Man, I
yeah.
never did. I was like I tried to study cyborg like to fight with him. I put the video like no, let me I just wanna fight. I
Do you
watch a
feel
little
like
bit, I just say like I'm not gonna play stand with him. That's all
yeah,
what I say.
yeah? At the end of the day, you always want to just kind of play your game anyway. You
Yeah,
know,
because, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think like if you watch the guy, like there's people that does good with that, but there's people that don't. So like if you watch the guy, I think like you're gonna like try to prevent he put his game on you.
yeah,
So we're gonna like kind of step back, a little bit all the time. So I
yeah,
think like if you don't watch, you're just gonna play your game and not gonna prevent. what is he gonna do all the time. It's just
Yeah.
gonna be natural, you know. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Makes sense?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. It's funny. Like I remember, I spent a little bit of time with Eddie Cummings in the Hamptons or something. He asked me to come train, and I trained with him for a weekend. It's like one of the best leg lockers I ever trained with. I was really impressed with his leg locks, but he was so serious about like knowing his opponents, you know. And I felt like, I mean, he's so good that I'm like, dude, don't. I almost wanted. I didn't tell him because I don't want to like mess with what works for him. But I
Uh-huh.
almost want to tell him, dude, don't worry about your opponent so much. Your leg lock game and your game overall is so good. It's not going to matter because you're going to force them into your game anyway. So why even over concern yourself? And I think sometimes I felt like he almost kind of defeated himself or made it tougher for himself because he would be so, you know, obsessed with his opponents, you know, to where he wasn't focusing enough
Yeah.
on himself. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's
Yeah, I
just
think if you
from
focus
what
too
I saw. I
much, like
noticed that.
it's
Yeah.
not good. I think if you focus too much, it's not good. Like it's kind of put a
Yeah.
lot of pressure on you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna fight with that guy. Oh my god, who's that guy? Let me watch his fight. Oh, let me see what he does. Oh, okay, I have to prevent this because he's good on that. Like the guy's gonna be
But
good
then,
in every little thing. Like you
yeah.
know, so you can't like prevent everything.
Yeah, but then if you try to prevent things too much, first of all, you're not attacking enough. This would
You're
be
not
something that
attacking enough.
this would be
Yeah,
something that Marcelo would say. And then second of all, you're probably going out of your own game to just prevent what he's doing. You're not really forcing your game. You're just trying to stay out of his game. Yeah,
yeah,
I know. Yeah.
yeah. Like I'm gonna train with you, and I say, man, like the first time I was like, let me prevent the bearing ball, and you swept me. Like
Did I
I
sweep you?
can't.
Did I actually sweep you before? Have I swept you?
You swept before. Yeah, in Berimbolo. I
Really?
think the first time you training. I think so. The first time you training, we trained
Well, it must
before.
have been
Yeah.
the first and last time.
Like I have to prevent the bearing ball. I thought like this. Like let me like take
Dude,
the hooks out, and you just like you did because I just stay focused on that.
well, I remember like you would come visit for a couple weeks at a time, and I wouldn't. You were mostly training with Mateus and Marcos and Bernardo when they were there, but the few times that we would train, like, dude, I don't know how I swept you because it's super hard. So I think I think I remember there was a period of time where I was playing lapels a little bit, and I would just try to tie you up with the lapels, and I would just be like, if I could just
Yeah.
get him to not pass my guard, I'm like, I was happy. But then there was like a one trip you made like an adjustment, and all of a sudden you would not let me get the lapels at all, and I was like, fuck, now I'm in trouble. I always remember that. As soon as you figured out like how to really like avoid that, shit got rough for me. So Eddie, my roommate here, is asking, how did you feel before ADCC? So this is something I wanted to bring up as well because kind of like the theme that we've been talking about, like you got an invite to ADCC like last minute. What
Yeah.
was kind of that process for you? Was that something where you just felt calm and good, or was that something that kind of made you nervous? Tell me your thoughts when you got invited.
So yeah, that was a surprise. Like I was waiting for they invited me in the last minute. Like they went, the guy asked me like, "Oh, we're gonna fight the ACC." I said, "Okay, let's do it." So I
Yeah,
was like, I think 1 or 2 weeks before the
yeah,
guys, the ACC, I was traveling. I went to I think Puerto Rico,
yeah. You were
something
like
like
on
this.
vacation right before.
Yeah, and I came back, and the guys were training to the ACC. So yeah, I took a little bit of the camp, like I think 1 week. Yeah, I took 1 week. I did 1 week of camp. Not really a camp, like it just they the same training, not a
Yeah,
camp, like the same training.
yeah,
And man, like I felt like ladies, I felt really good. I didn't feel pressure a lot, you know. Like I
hmm,
was kind of confident. Like I didn't play a lot of jiu-jitsu lately. I played more with the rules.
yeah,
So because I like as I was traveling, like I was like prepared, like condition prepared for like 40 minutes. I was like, fuck, I can't. So like the first match, I tried to play like just controlling, try to do my game. Then I feel really confident,
yeah,
and it works. Like if I with a guy from here, yeah, from I don't remember his name, and I fought with Jackson.
hmm.
So sleeper, man. Fuck, was hard to get something on him.
Dude, that's what's so annoying about ADCC. They won't, they don't wear rash guards or anything. So then as soon as they start getting sweaty, it's so hard to hold
Yeah,
them.
he was sweaty already. I don't know. Like it started like he was really sleeper a lot, so I couldn't
Right
get
from the
nothing. Nothing. I was trying to get the under the legs, all that. I just like I got under his legs and I swept him. And then I fought the same final with Vini Magalhães.
yeah.
And with him, I have to play smart. Like I
Mhm.
play smart. Like he pulled guard and I give the I say I slap his leg and yeah,
But
I
you
slap
got the
his
2 point.
leg. Yeah, I got 2 points and he got out pissed.
Yeah, I
I'm
remember
like,
that.
man, sorry. I play my
Hey man, you
game.
play the game, play the game.
Yeah, I felt really good.
Yeah.
With Gordon, like man, like 40 minutes. I told Mateus, man, I gotta submit him. I gotta do something. If I don't, like, I'm not gonna fight 40 minutes. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try as much as I can, but I'm not like condition prepared for that now.
So you kind of just accepted how you're feeling. So some people would be super like, oh man, I'm not ready for this. And they would worry about it. But you kind of
Yeah,
sound like, you kind of just had to adjust to how you were feeling.
yeah,
Like
I kind of
you,
just
you,
like
you knew you knew that like maybe you weren't in the like optimal shape that you wanted to be. So you had to play the rules more. You had to realize that with Gordon in the final, you would have to submit him earlier on. You had to, kind of play smart in your earlier matches. So it
yeah,
wasn't so much like stress about maybe not getting the camp that you wanted, but like more just adjusting to how you felt.
yeah. That's why I think I don't feel any pressure. Like the final, yeah, I felt a little bit pressure, a little tense, a little bit. But I was like, that's fucking just gonna go and whatever. Like his stuff, man, it's gonna be really hard to meet him because the guy is really good.
Yeah.
He's one of the best grapplers of the world. Like,
Hmm.
So I was like, I'm gonna try tapping, I'm gonna try do something. Like 40 minutes, like I don't know if I can do 40 minutes. I'm gonna try my best. What's 12, I think.
Yeah, 40 minutes for anybody is really tough. That's a long match. Have you ever done a
Yeah,
match like that before?
I did man, so yeah, I did before. I did 55. So
Okay.
you remember that? I don't know if you remember the tournament that we had in Alliance São Paulo.
No, I don't know. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so it was like this. Like they did the groups. So it was a tournament inside the gym. So there was
Okay.
all the black belts and brown belts. So we did we separated the like how to say
The brown.
the brackets, everything. They separated the brackets and everything. So it was like this. We have the first round, so everybody's rolling the same time, and
Hmm.
who tap, like just you want, like I say, I tap the guy, I want, I go rest. So let's say
Yeah.
that I stay like 50 minutes, and I tap the guy, I'm gonna rest. So there was the first round, and then I took 55 minutes. So the guy that took 5 minutes to that he tapped the guy in 5 minutes, he's resting for 50 minutes. So and then you're gonna go the second round, everybody
Yeah.
again, and then you go like second, third. So I did like the first round that I fought with my friend, everybody's friend, like it was
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
tournament inside. I
Everyone's
did
cool.
like 50 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, and I tapped in, and I waited like 40 minutes because everybody was like good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second one was 20, and the third was the quarterfinals. I lost for Dimito Souza.
Okay.
We did 55 minutes.
That's a lot.
He
So the
broke my
first one
arm,
was like
man. I almost broke my arm.
in
Ah,
an in-house tournament. You didn't want to tap.
I didn't want to tap. Like, man, I was dead. Like 55 minutes. I was like, I wasn't feeling nothing. Like I was like, oh my god, there's my 2 fights I had. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, I don't know if I can do it. But I was like, I was fighting. I was like, fuck. He got my arm and I tapped. The next day, I fought another tournament. Like,
Oh, real tournament.
yeah, with other tournament in other place, and I won that one
That's crazy. So
with
man,
my
so you guys just
with my arm all fucked up.
so I mean, I guess in Brazil, like you guys didn't seem to care about like tapering too much or whatever. You just compete one thing and then just jump right into another. Um,
Yeah, actually like
yeah.
that. Actually like that.
Did you guys have those in-house tournaments like pretty often, or was that a rare thing?
This tournament's like inside the gym.
Like the one you had inside the gym, yeah.
No. We don't. Like there was like one that they like a guy that did in the academy once, but I think they had once like twice this tournament before, and this was the third time. I think I'm not sure.
Okay, man, how was the training there in Sao Paulo? I want to ask like you moving to New York and the difference between Marcel's and the Alliance Sao Paulo, but what was the training like there? What was the kind of just can you tell me a little bit about what it's like?
What I really like there, like, is different. Like, man, they have a separate class for competitors. So the class is 2 hours long.
Okay.
So we do like every day 2 hours long. So and then have a training during the night. The night train like it's 8 to 9:30. So it's kind of like a regular class, but there's a lot of competitors who train.
Mm-hmm.
So the difference, like, we have like, I think the technique is kind of different than Marcelo's. There it's kind of like pole teaching,
Yeah.
They show the whole position. So actually we do 3 connections, but with the whole position, no action and reaction like we do here.
Mm-hmm.
I really like here, but I really like there too, like that we should do like the whole, like we do the position, but it's kind of like a complete position, not just reaction and reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this style too. Like,
what was
but that's the difference. And the competitor, like, we do 2 hours training, and man, like, it's a hell. Like, it's 1 hour, 1 hour rolling. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah. Who were some of like the main guys that you were training with out there? Who were like some of the guys that you would always go to?
Well, I used to train with Rafa Paganini, Caio Paganini. They're black belts now.
Yeah.
You know them. Dimitrios, Fernando, Isaac, Lang sometimes, Fabio Gurgel. Sometimes I just he's tough.
He's tough, dude. I remember he came to New York the first time I met him. He was getting ready for his ADCC super fight or something, and he did like one of those nogi classes, like one of the nogi classes, like on a Monday or Friday, where like not many high level guys go to that class. And my drill partner didn't show up that day. I was supposed to drill with someone in the corner. The guy didn't show up, so Fabio was looking for someone to train with.
Yeah.
And he called me over. He's like, Gianni, do you mind training with me? And I don't know who was running the class. Maybe it was Marcos or Mateus, but they were like, okay, guys, we'll just train the whole time. And I remember I trained with Fabio almost the whole time. I'm like, man, this sucks.
It sucks, yeah.
And I know he's much tougher. I think he's much tougher in the gi too. And I had to go with him in no gi. That was not a good time.
But he's getting old, like, now, so it's, you can like beat him.
Dude. Also, I want to ask about like his teaching because I don't know if you came to it, but like he taught a seminar at Marcelo's. I think it was sometime last year, and I loved it. I thought he was a great teacher. What about him as an instructor did you like? Or...
Man, he's as an instructor, he was really good instructor. Like,
yeah,
like it's like, you know what? He's very simple in the battles, like, but it's very straight on point. Like, he doesn't talk too much, He doesn't do all that talk, because when you talk too much, you kind of, like, the first thing, let's say I talk 5 minutes, but you're gonna forget about that 3 minutes. You're gonna just remember those 2 last minutes that I talk. So he's just like, you teach a position, like 3 minutes, 2 minutes and a half. Everybody will understand. Like, there's not a lot of questions. I think, like, because he talks, like, very, very clear, very, like, straight on point. It's good. Like, it was good at having him as an instructor. Like, it helps a lot.
I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine it's like so easy to remember the stuff that he would teach. Like, the seminar was a year and a half ago, and I remember everything that he showed because he was just very clear with everything.
Very clear.
Like you said, it was simple, but like the techniques were effective too. It was something that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's very simple. It's not like one thing. Like, all that bullshit. Like, grab here, there. No. Like, there's not like 10 things Choose. He will
Yeah.
grab. It's just like 1, 2, 3. Couple. That's it.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Like I remember a lot of things that he taught me.
Yeah.
A lot.
And what were the classes separated? I know maybe I'm wrong, but like was it like just him and Langi who were teaching most of the classes?
Yeah, he and Lange. Yeah, it used to
Yeah.
be he and Lange, but now it's Dimitrius and Lange because he's like kind of he retired. It's
Hmm.
like he got tired a little bit, I think.
Yeah. I
But he
mean,
did sometimes, like not the same, I think. As I'm not there now, but what I heard, like he did sometimes. But before you should be he and Lange. Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
feel like that's like a life goal, to be like so successful, be like a black belt world champion yourself as a competitor, develop all these great world champion competitors, and then
yeah.
be able to develop this great team, and then you can teaches all these seminars, and now he's like he can let his students take care of the work,
Take care of the
now.
work.
I'm
Yeah,
like, man, he did it right. He did really well.
he did it. He did it very good. Fabio,
Yeah,
he's smart. Like was good. Like I learned a lot with him.
yeah.
A lot with him. Like never think I ever like few things I learned a little bit.
What do you see yourself doing? Not that you have to go the exact Fabio Gurgel path, but what do you kind of want to do with competing? What do you want the jiu-jitsu in your life to evolve into?
Man, the next 5 year plan, I just like I don't have like a plan like in long term. Like you kind of have a few things, but like 5 year plan, I think I just gonna keep competing.
I mean,
You
how old are
know,
you still? You're like 23,
22.
22? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep training, like competing, fighting tournaments. There's a few things that I want to do outside from jiu-jitsu,
Hmm.
and like, cause you don't train like 8 hours a day. You train like
Yeah.
4. You do, but I can't.
Hey
I
man, it
can't.
works for you. It works for you.
I can't do too much. I do one day only, but after like, so like the next 5 year plan, just gonna training and competing and teach seminars, like make my name grow more. You know,
Hmm.
like I gotta like enjoy this time, like you
Yeah.
know. But after 5 years, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I don't have a plan yet,
Yeah.
but I gonna still competing and doing jiu-jitsu for sure.
Yeah, of course. I feel like if you do it for this long, why look? What else are we gonna do?
What
This
else
is
gonna
it.
do? Yeah,
Whether teaching or competing, this is what we're doing. But what was I gonna say?
they say yeah, make a new baby,
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means.
make
But
a new baby.
oh, I think I get it now. I think I get it.
Ghana.
But so man, I guess like just winning worlds at black belt is the main goal.
Sorry, what
I
did I
guess
say?
for you, like winning worlds at black belt is like the main goal. That's kind of what your main thought is.
Yeah. Like what? Like explain more. Like I don't understand well.
Oh, so I mean,
The
like
main
competing wise, like your main goal right now, like your main
my main
focus.
goal
Yeah,
my main goal. Yeah, just like competing. Yeah, my main goal is
yeah,
just competing the black belt.
yeah. I feel like there's so many tournaments out there though that like making your name doesn't just come from like winning worlds at black belt. There's like so many different ways that you can grow your name in jiu-jitsu. Like you're doing all these super fights, there's all these other different type of events out there. People used to put such a huge emphasis on winning worlds, and it's important. It helps a lot, but it's
Yeah.
not. But it's not everything now. You know.
Yeah, I think because this little tournament that they have, like the super fights, it's making like the people are watch more than the worlds. I think like call more attention. They're really,
Yeah.
like even here. I think even here in America, the no gi, like ADCC, like all
Yeah.
those tournaments, the small tournaments, like super fights. It like I think it's helping a lot. Like grow your name. It's gonna help more you grow quick.
Yeah.
Then world.
Is that kind of your thought process when you do a lot of super fights? You just take them everywhere. Is that kind of just because you enjoy it and you just want to do it, or do you kind of also like realize how popular like those no gi super fights are and how much they can help you and your name?
Yeah, I think like because like the super fight like kind of pop your name better.
Hmm.
It helps grow more like quick. But sure, like if you win the worlds, or worlds is the worlds,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
then you fight these little tournaments that like IBJJF, these opens. So like I rather like go and fight, and for money too. This little tournament, like the fight
Yeah,
win is a big tournament. Polaris, all those tournaments are good. So the
yeah,
money, like the most thing is the money. You need the money, so
yeah,
you gotta fight this little tournament. The BJJF they
Y-
don't pay. That's a
yeah,
problem.
yeah. You get tired after a while, especially when you compete at like a high level to go to all these tournaments and paying for them. I'm sure, like when you were a kid going to all these tournaments, you were probably paying for them, or you definitely weren't making any money off of them. So after a
Yeah,
while doing that for so many years, that can get kind of old.
yeah. I think I kind of yeah. Like now the words is paid, but what we spend all that process to get ready and spend to go is not even like don't like it's not kind of prize.
Yeah.
you
I mean,
know.
yeah. And I even thought it was crazy because, like, say they have the rankings for IBGF. And I remember one year, me and Marcos we were like, man, let's make a goal to get top 10 in the rankings. And we went to all these tournaments. We went to like Boston, Chicago, New York, all the major tournaments, Brasileiros, Pans, Europeans, all this stuff. And we're like, because we really wanted to get top 10. We really wanted that top 10. And
Yeah.
we both got top 10. He got number 9, I got number 10. We just made it. And at the end of the day, like, you top 10 black belts in the world, and you get just a plaque.
It's just a
No
black.
money, no money. I'm like, man, at least give me free registration.
At least, yeah.
At
Like
least give me free registration for that. So I
it's very
think,
frustrating. It's very frustrating. Like you do all that, like you spend all this money to get a plaque.
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
hard.
no,
Like,
it's tough. Yeah. So I think it's more important to like kind of like maybe try to like focus more on those super fights.
super
Yeah,
fights. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why I thought like, man, I'm not gonna do all these opens to like get top 10 or whatever. I'm gonna fight win. That's much better. You go, you stay in a nice hotel, we have our flight, everything. Just
yeah,
go, make your weight, and fight one fight, and come back to our house with a check.
yeah.
You
Dude,
know,
even think about this. The number one ranked black belt for IBGF. I don't mean to knock IBGF. I still appreciate IBGF and everything,
sure, sure.
but they're great. But I need to get paid from them. Number one, the number one ranked guy gets 15,000. The winner gets like number one rank in the world gets 15,000
In
for
check, in check.
a check. Yeah, I mean, look, you could probably do a couple super fights in a month. Do 3 matches, 4 matches, and make that same amount or more. But these guys, think about how much money they're probably spending to go to
Yeah,
all
that's the
these.
thing. Like
So how much money you're losing for that?
you don't make money. Just recover what we spend.
Yeah, no, it's tough. But
Yeah.
now, to change the subject a little bit, I wanted to ask, like, I remember we had like a long ride from Boston. I remember we talked about you coming to New York and training with us. But how was that transition for you, like when you came from Brazil to New York? And I guess my first question about that is like, when did you want to do that? What was kind of like the moment where you're like, oh, I want to move to New York?
So, well, I was one like since 2017, probably. Yeah, 2017. Yeah, I wanted to move to here. I was like, man, I want to get out of Brazil. I need to get my black belt and move it out for him because I like here. I like here better than there. Not the training, but the place. I really like here.
Mm-hmm.
And like I moved last year. Yeah, March of last year. Literally March of last year. The transition was okay. Like I think because I always like came here and I visited all the time. I was like all the time with the guys. So
Yeah.
it was normal, like kind of normal. Nothing changed too much. Sure, I miss my family because I can't see my family.
Yeah.
None of that, but I got used to I got used to
Yeah.
it.
How was your family with that move? How did
They're
they handle
good.
that?
Like they support me. They say like it's
Yeah.
really good for you. Like you gotta do. You gotta go and do what you have to do. Like if it makes you happy, you go. My mom, my mom, she says like, Come back, come back. I said, well, I can't.
Of course. Are you able to go back or
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
you're
was in
still able to
Brazil.
go back?
I was
Oh,
in
you're
Brazil.
just in Brazil. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a few months ago. I was in
Okay.
Brazil. I went to my family that was like almost 1 year.
Yeah.
Did you
Do you
see
want to
that?
do any MMA? Any MMA?
No, no. Do you want to do MMA
No, I don't want to do MMA.
at all? I think it's not worth, man. Do you think it's
I
worth like the change you need for MMA now? It's kind of like you start everything again.
I mean, I think sometimes I like the idea of learning something new, because
Yeah.
sometimes we do the same thing and not that it gets old, but I think sometimes learning how to do something different would be cool. But man, like if you're going to do MMA, you got to do it seriously. You can't like half-ass it because you're going to get beat up.
You're gonna
You know?
get beat up. It's
Why
different.
why if you're going to like semi take it seriously and get beat up, it's not worth it. It's not
I
worth it.
know.
Oh.
Well, I trained in box for 5 years.
Oh, did
So,
you? Huh.
yeah, I did for 5 years. That's why I changed. I started in the box and then I switched to jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
So yeah, like man, fuck, it's not good. Like get punched in the face. I really like box, but fuck, it's nice until like you don't get a punch in our nose. Once you get our nose and you break our nose, like you happy with me? Fuck,
Did you
man.
break your nose before?
Yeah, like look, it used to be like pretty nice. Look how it is now. Like a bird.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was like, oh. Man, so I guess we have a few more minutes, but yeah, I just wanted to ask, like, what are some of the biggest difference you noticed from like being in Sao Paulo to being in New York, like training wise? Is there what are some of like the similarities and differences maybe that you've noticed, or yeah?
Well, like São Paulo, we had more human material, like more people to train
Mm-hmm.
because there is a competition class, so there's like more people to train. I think
Yeah.
you've been there, so you've been there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw like there's a lot of training.
Man, even the blue belts out there are like super tough.
Super tough.
Yeah.
Super tough. Like here is really good at training too, is like because there's a lot more no-gi, so it's really good for me. Like I do like no-gi, I do like no-gi a lot. So I think like the difference is that they don't train no-gi there. Here we train more no-gi. So it helps a lot with gi too. I think the pressure and everything, it helps,
Yeah.
So I kind of like feel things like get more aggressive here because like there's a lot of technical. Here's a lot of technical, but we train with the guys. Like Trey Mateos, all those guys, like, man, you gotta raise
You just go to kill, right?
go to kill.
Yeah. Do you always like those kind of rounds, or is it something you kind of accepted? Do you like the fight more than like more technical training? Or
Well, it depends on the day. I like both.
Maybe on Monday you like the really hard
Monday,
training,
Tuesday, and
and
Wednesday,
then Thursday,
I do like
Friday,
the fight.
more technical training.
Yeah, Thursday and Friday more technical.
Yeah.
I'm too heavy, man. Fuck, like it's not easy. Hold the weight.
It's not easy for you.
Hold the weight all the time. I get tired. Like,
We're the ones that have to deal with that weight that you have.
Yeah, I understand you. It's both.
Man, yeah. Dude, I'm running out of things. We've gone through a lot. I wanted to ask you, how are your hands? How do your hands get messed up through training a lot? Do you feel your grips nowadays?
Man, sometimes I feel like, sometimes I feel like my grips like getting tight. I have my finger here, like I have like how they say gun finger? He lock,
Oh, you have that happen? Oh, that's
yeah,
nasty.
he lock and I have to pull him back, like.
Yeah. Do you ever like do you use tape often or not too much? I don't think I've seen you use tape before.
Not too much. Like sometimes everywhere. Like, but I think I gotta start to use when I use grip tape.
Well, I'm doing a little shameless self promotion here. I don't know if I've ever sent you any tape at all, but if you want, I could do that for you for the times in training.
For sure.
Dude, man, I hit a certain point. Maybe it's because you're 22. I never felt my fingers when I was 22. But when I turned 26, I remember I was in Sao Paulo when I went for Brasileiros. All of a sudden, I noticed it while I was out there. Every time someone broke a grip, my fingers just hurt so much. They ached like so bad. It was funny. I was talking with Paulo Miao the other day, and it was so funny. I asked him, like, man, his hands are messed up. And I asked him if he feels it. I was like, no, I don't feel anything. I'm like, damn it.
How he done?
I'm like, how?
I'm starting to feel.
Yeah. That guy just doesn't feel anything, doesn't tap to anything. But
I don't know how they're from another world.
I should have asked that. I'm like, well, how do you not tap to any knee bars or footlocks? I forgot to ask that.
I don't think so. You never have for knee bar.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, I hope it's good to talk to you. It's good to see you.
Talk to you too. Was
Man,
good, man.
This is like the most we ever talked, besides that like 5-hour trip in Boston.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that when I was like driving back from Boston? I had like one arm, you know.
Yeah, I remember it was with our arm fucked up.
That was a good day for you, not a good day for me. That was rough.
Was good for both.
Yeah.
Was good.
Well, man, this thing cuts us off sometimes a little early, so I just wanted to say thank you, and hopefully you're feeling good, you're able to train and do your thing and get back to competing soon again.
Oh, thank you, John. Thanks so much.
Hey guys, thank you for joining in. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. So I see you soon, John.
I'll see you soon. Yeah, we're gonna do this soon. We'll be back to normal soon.
All right, I hope so.
I hope so too. All right, take it easy, guys.
Thank you.
Later.